St Chad's is a fast-growing church in a fast-changing world with a massive heart to love our community here in Romiley. At the start of 2022, we recognised with a lot of staff changes and God calling people onto the next stage of ministry, following COVID and for other reasons, it was time to look afresh at our structures and our priorities. We started with vision to say, God, what are you calling us to in this season as a church? And together we prayed, we listened to all generations in our church, and we listened to God. And the outcome of that was an amazing sense of unity and excitement as God gave us a clear new vision of seeing more people more like Jesus. We want to see God glorified in His church. We want to be a loving community and loving in our community. Following Jesus, He's the direction of travel for us as a church. Through this journey, I have to say God surprised us with a subtle but significant shift in the way we see leadership at St Chad's. For many years, perhaps we've seen the role of the staff team of doing a lot of the ministry of St Chad's. We realise what God is calling us to, with many people with gifts and leadership in the church family as volunteers, that the role of the staff team is to oversee and to support the whole body of Christ in the callings that each and every one has. It's subtle but quite significant. We believe that the role of the staff in the next season is to help you to fulfill the calling God has placed on your life. That calling will be to be glorifying God, to be loving community and following Jesus. This is both through the oversight, setting the culture, the direction, the teaching, and also through the underpinning, the operational side, so that people are able to give their time to serve God in our community. We need more staff to enable more people to serve in more ways.
Over the last few years, our staff team has been pruned back, but we now really believe it's time to grow again. So we've worked with Richard to create a number of part-time staff roles to support the huge amount of voluntary work we do together as a church.
For children's work, we are so excited that we can start paying Vicky Reedy for the work that she does at the Guywood Centre for Young Families. For the youth, we're delighted that Zeke feels called by God to stay in Romiley and support the ministry part-time. And then to work with Richard and the whole church, we want to appoint an associate vicar. And at the Life Centre, to build its potential, we'll recruit a Life Centre ministry leader. This and the associate vicar role could be one person full-time or two people part-time.
We know these are bold steps. We know they mean an increase to our budget. And so in the current climate, this is not a decision we've taken lightly.
With the PCC, we're in unity with Richard for this big moment in the church's life. We're asking you to join us and consider increasing your giving to support this vision.
We believe passionately that this is what God is calling us to, and we trust that where God calls, He provides. But be honest, He provides often through the whole body of Christ, giving sacrificially to serve His kingdom purposes. So we're going to ask you to prayerfully consider, what is God calling you to give in this season? We believe God is in this, and we believe He's guiding us in this. I'm excited that with an expanded staff team and a vision to see more people serving, to see more people expressing the love of God, to see more children and young people growing up, secure in the truth of God's love and the truth of who He is, we can have a real impact on Romiley. And this is going to take all of us together, but having resourcing and staff team to make that possible. I do believe that God is on the move through St Chad's, and we are going to see more people more like Jesus.